Architectural Outcast.
The Good, the Bad, the Weird is a film out of South Korea. It's what director Kim Jae-woo likes to call a Kimchee Western. It has everything you could ever ask for in a good Western. You have the mysterious stranger, outlaws and bandits, the army. There are shootouts, a train robbery, cavalry charges, saloon fights, and the final showdown, a three-way Mexican standoff between the main protagonists where they're going to settle things once and for all. And all this is told through the sensibilities of a very uniquely Korean perspective. I recommend you all watch the original Korean version with subtitles. The Korean language is emotionally evocative. Korean acting style emphasizes the emotional impact of language. You will pick up a lot of the nuance listening to the language as you read the subtitles. The cinematography is beautiful. This is one of those films you could turn off the sound, ignore the story, and just sit back to enjoy the visual feast. Director Kim Jae-woo clearly knows his John Ford films. Wide panoramic shots of the landscape, storms, rain, dust blowing across the screen. Don't turn off the sound though, because then you'd miss out on the music score. The more you know the Western genre, the more you'll appreciate all the subtle references to all sorts of classic Westerns in all different genres. And it's all subtly mixed in with traditional Korean music. As the title would suggest, The Good, the Bad, the Weird is heavily influenced by Sergio Leone's Man with No Name trilogy. But the storytelling, it comes out of one of Leone's later films, Once Upon a Time in the West. A lot of the plot isn't going to make sense until the final scene. So I have to be very careful with plot. Don't want to reveal too many spoilers. I wouldn't want to ruin the ending for you. The movie's take on the mysterious stranger is not to have one mysterious stranger, but three mysterious strangers. All three men are running from something in their past. They've fled Korea into Manchuria. And all three, in their own unique way, are very dangerous men. We'll start with the good, a bounty hunter who's modeled on Clint Eastwood's Man with No Name. But unlike Clint Eastwood's character, this bounty hunter is driven by a sense of justice. He hunts criminals to make them pay for their wrongdoing. His weapons are a double-barreled shotgun, a lever-action Winchester, and a six-shooter. Next, we have the bad, a hired killer modeled on Henry Fonda's Frank from Once Upon a Time in the West. This psychopath's goal is to be the fastest gun, the best killer in the world. Men, women, children, doesn't matter. You piss him off, he will kill you. The only problem, you don't know what's going to piss him off from moment to moment. He's as dangerous to his friends as he is his enemies. His preferred weapons are a break-open revolver and the knife. And then we have the weird, a small-time bandit modeled on Eli Wallach's Tuco. This guy is motivated by money. He's cunning and resourceful. At the same time, he's bumbling and incompetent. But you'll notice, no matter how dangerous the situation, he always survives. He's worth keeping both eyes on. His weapons of choice are two Walther P-38 automatic pistols. The movie opens and we're introduced to a wealthy Korean official who's selling out his country to the Japanese. He has a map and he wants the hired killer to deliver it to a high-ranking Japanese official on a train. But once a double-crosser, always a double-crosser. He then wants the hired killer to steal the map back. While on the train, the bandit steals the map from the Japanese official. The train stops suddenly. The killer has returned. Before he can get to the bandit and reclaim the map, the bounty hunter appears. He's been tracking the killer. In the ensuing chaos, the bandit escapes with the map. The bandit learns that map will lead you to an ancient treasure, all the wealth that you could desire. But he has a problem. Everybody in Manchuria now knows about that map, and they know that he has it. Every bandit in the country is looking for him. To make matters worse, the Japanese army wants that map too. The bandit is quickly captured by the bounty hunter, but they make a deal. They'll go after the treasure together. The bounty hunter is not interested in the treasure. He wants the killer. He thinks if they find that treasure, they'll find the killer. Meanwhile, the killer has tracked down one of the bandit's friends. He begins to torture the friend. The bandit and the bounty hunter arrive to rescue the friend. A massive shootout ensues. It's really cool because it's an interesting mixture of gunplay and wire fu. The bandit escapes from the bounty hunter, and he sets off to find the treasure on his own. But his problems are getting worse, because the bounty hunter and the killer aren't the only ones on his trail. Outlaw gangs and the Japanese army are in hot pursuit as well. Eventually, the bandit, the bounty hunter, and the killer arrive at the treasure, where you learn what's really been going on. The movie is dealing with themes of consequences and retribution. Evil begets evil. Evil oftentimes destroys itself. You meet some very scummy people in this movie. Every single instance, their own actions led directly to their deaths, and it was proportional. The more scummy and evil their behavior, the more horrible their death. Two in particular, ugh. But when you find out what they were doing, how evil they were, they got off easy. The film asks the question, do you ever really escape your past? Even if you travel far away, change your behavior, and become a different person, can you really leave your past behind? Or will it come sneaking up on you, bite you in the ass? What if you've done something truly evil? Are you even capable of leaving it behind? And here's an even harder question. What if you've done something evil to another person? And as a direct result of your behavior, that person goes down an evil path, starts harming others. What responsibility do you bear? Now, clearly in a movie that's talking about consequences, that person is responsible for their behavior. But we're talking about the blood of innocence here. When retribution comes knocking on their door, are they also going to come knocking on your door as well? Then again, maybe we should just turn off the sound and enjoy the pretty pictures. Be a lot easier on the brain, that's for sure. The Good, the Bad, the Weird is one of the best modern westerns I've seen in a long time. It's well worth the effort to read the subtitles. At any rate, I hope I've given you all something to think about, and until next time, you all be safe. Tell me down below in the comments your opinion of the movie. And while you all are down there, I'd really appreciate it if you gave me a like and subscribed.
Please like and subscribe. Please leave a comment.